to make sure the bun was in the frame, okay? Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Yes, I know half of you guys are gonna be fucking pissed at me. I know. I don't know, man. I just had some family issues. My mom wasn't feeling good, and sometimes you just can't walk away from that shit. But that's neither here nor there. Y'all are here to hear story time, because we all about ready for another story time. I'm fiending too, girl. Grab your wine, grab your popcorn, grab your snacks, girl, because we're about to have story time after what feels like forever and a day. So today's Glamazon is very special to me because I ran into her today while I went to go get my nails done. Yes, I got my nails done. You can't really see it with this background, but you can see it like right about here, right here. Can you see it? Can you see them? They're very low key, but they got the little glitter ombre thing going on. It's very crude. So I had to go get my nails done. Have seen my vlogs, y'all would know that my toes were a mess. Okay, so I had to go fix that. Legit, the minute that I walked into the nail salon, one of my Glamazons was getting a pedicure, and her name was Leslie, and she about died. The minute that she saw me walk into the door, she wanted to take pictures right away and just could not wait to talk to me. She got to meet Julian. It was amazing. Today's glamour shot of the day is my gorgeous Glamazon, Leslie. Leslie, you were so beautiful inside and out. Thank you so much for loving me and supporting me to the point where you recognize me in random places. She said that she's been looking for me in Denver for like months now. So like this girl was literally going out with like the intention of finding me. So you found me! Thank you so much for loving me and supporting me. You guys know that I would not be here without you, and I could not do this without each and every one of you guys. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now let's get to the story time, girl, because it's about time. So this was like the first time that I got like something that wasn't off the clearance table at the liquor store. Okay, I'm gonna be real. A grown-up shard, and I could tell, okay, because there is not one fruity aroma in this, alright? So today's story is going to be a story that you guys have been wanting to hear for a while now, and I decided that right now would be the perfect time because I owe y'all for putting up with my crazy ass. So today is going to be a continuation of the story that I told about Robert's funky ass. The story that I told went more into depth about why Robert and I broke up and the fact that I snitched, okay? I really did. Just give it a second, okay? Don't be prejudging before you even watch the video, alright? If you haven't seen the video, I will leave it down in my description box below for you guys to catch yourself up. And as per usual, if you haven't seen that one first, pause this one, go see that one, come back, because otherwise it's not gonna make no sense, okay? The story is going to be about the time that I had to skirt up on a girl, and I literally had to roll up on her and like catch her right off the bus to confront her at her bus stop. This story takes place when I was 17 years old and Robert was 18, and he had not graduated yet. So as most of you guys know, and if you don't know, at the time I did have a best friend, and I named her Heather. Heather's funky ass, okay? And Robert had his best friend at the time, which was Tyler. Robert and Tyler had been friends forever, you guys. Of course, whenever you first get with a dude, you know, it's pretty typical that you have to meet all their friends and like get along with their friends, and of course meet their best friend. So when I met Robert, of course I was introduced to Tyler, and I did not know that Tyler existed prior to meeting Robert. Like, they had their own little group of friends. Their friends did not talk to anybody else. Like, they were very exclusive and very like to themselves. So like, I didn't know Tyler existed, I didn't know Robert existed. Like, all of these kids that like went to my school, I didn't even know that they existed until I got with Robert's funky ass, okay? Tyler came from a really big family. I want to say that he was like one out of like 8 kids. I want to say, like, honestly, he had a huge family, a bunch of brothers and sisters, okay? Now, most of his siblings were older than him and were either in college or like full grown-ass adults that were married with kids. So he was the youngest boy, but he was already a senior, okay? He had 2 younger sisters, one of which was in high school with us, and the other one was like in 7th or 8th grade, so she was about to be going into high school too. We're going to be talking about the one that went to our high school, and her name was Jocelyn. Now, Jocelyn was a freshman when I was a junior and when the boys were seniors, right? So, you know, she was like 13, 14 years old when I was 16, 17 years old, and the boys were like 18, right? So when Robert and I first got together, it spread around the school really fast. One, because I like ghosted a dude for him, but that's because that dude was lying to me. I'll tell y'all that in another story. So a lot of people, including some of my own friends, were kind of pissed at me because they felt like I was moving on too fast. But legit, me and that other guy were only dating for 2 weeks and we only saw each other at school, and he fucking lied to me and like he got suspended, and so I was like, peace the fuck out, right? What happened was Robert and I started talking before I even broke up with what's his face, and that was because what's his face was suspended and like didn't even tell. Don't get me started, okay? But I really liked Robert, and at the time, you know, I thought Robert was the fucking shit. I thought he was the nicest guy ever, and he was a senior, and like he was funny and nerdy and just everything that I was not used to dating, but I thought would be a really great idea because I thought he seemed nice. I thought I was dating the nice guy. Robert and I had met up at our lockers and we were gonna head to lunch together as per usual, okay? On the way to the cafeteria is a bathroom, and I told Robert, I was like, hey, let me go pee real quick before we go in the cafeteria, because if you go to the cafeteria bathroom, that line is always crowded and it's always long and hell to the now. So I was like, I'm gonna go right now before we get there. I go to the bathroom, I wash my hands. You guys, I wasn't even in there for like a full 2 minutes. I really wasn't. I come back out and I see Robert, and he's standing next to like this window, and there's a girl standing in front of him, and you can tell that she's like visibly upset. Like she's crying, she's like trying not to yell at him, and like you can tell like she's really passionate. Her like hands are going everywhere, and she's like doing one of these, and like she's legit crying. And he was like, I don't know, and you could just see him like, I don't know, I don't fucking know, like this, right? I kind of see that, and like, you know, keep in mind, I don't really know Robert that well by now, so like this was all very new to me. And you know that when you see shit like that and you're just now getting with the dude, girl, you cannot be showing you're crazy right off the bat, talk about who the fuck is she. You gotta act cool and calm and collected. Kind of like stand back for like a good 15 seconds to like kind of get a better idea of what was going on. Is this his ex-girlfriend? Like kind of trying to hear the convo a little bit and get a sense of what the context is and what the fuck is going on. Like, is this drama? That's all I need to know, because if it's a drama, I need to piece the fuck out right now. You know, after a few seconds of me realizing that this is inaudible and I can't hear anything that's going on, me standing off to the side is irrelevant at this point. So I take a few steps towards them to like kind of put myself in their periph and let them know, hi, hello, I'm here. He didn't even fucking acknowledge her. Like he was just like, hey, like the minute he saw me, he was like, bitch, I don't know you. All I hear, you guys, is bye, and like she just said it really fast and then like scurried away. Like I could not see her full face. Like she didn't say anything to me. She just like scurried away. It was so fucking awkward. So she scurries off. Here's Robert acting like didn't nothing happen, and I'm over here trying to maintain my composure and pretend like I'm not fucking crazy. So I'm like trying to hold it in, but I still want the information, so I start prying just a little bit. On the way over to the cafeteria, I was like, you know, I was trying to like play with him and be like lighthearted, but I still wanted to know, you like making little girls cry? I was like, what the hell was that? Oh, that girl from the hallway? And I was like, yeah, bitch, like what you mean? Of course not, you know I'm the nicest person. And I was like, and he was like, nah, you know, actually friends with her brother, and like they're having like family issues, and she just wanted to talk to me about it. He was like, why? I don't know, I don't really know her like that. And I was like, oh. By the time we got to the cafeteria, he's already telling me about this. And then he says, you'll actually be meeting him today. And I was like, who? And he goes, her brother, that girl that I was talking to, her brother, my best friend. All of it fucking made sense, you guys. Like, it made total sense. Like, I didn't really have a reason to doubt him or not believe him or think that he was lying to me, so it all made sense. And like I said, I'm not trying to show my crazy right now. Now we're gonna fast forward quite a bit of time. We're gonna fast forward, I wanna say about 5 or 6 months. Y'all already know when you're in high school, 5 or 6 months is a long ass time to be with somebody. It really is. One day came around and I had gone over to Robert's house to go chill with him and his brother Victor as per usual, and I was gonna meet Heather over there, and we were gonna have one of our chill sessions that we would have, and we would have all of our friends over at Robert's house because like I said, his mom was single and dating, and she would like go out all the time, and the house was basically for us. Like she used to tell us that all the time. When they came around, I was hanging out with Robert and we were like in his living room. Remember how I told you guys that in his house there was like a loft area where he had like his computer and shit. It was like their computer room, right? Don't be making fun of me, okay? Back then the phones that we had back then were not that great at checking your email. So people were predominantly still checking their email via a desktop computer or a laptop, okay? So these were the times. My mom and I had gotten into an argument. I'm sure it was about Robert, I'm sure. And my phone had gotten taken away, okay? Your girl was 17 and running around with no phone. I was mostly communicating with my mother via email. She was still, that was like her way of making sure I was home, because I had to be like on my home computer to email her. Or so she thought. Hanging out with Robert, of course, and I was like being defiant as shit. And I knew that I needed to keep an eye on my email just in case, because if I didn't answer my mother, then y'all already know the dealio, okay? I looked over at Robert and I was like, hey, can I use your computer upstairs and check my email real fast? And he was like, yeah, go ahead. So I go upstairs and I find the computer and I turn it on or whatever. The minute that I look at the computer, it's just Robert's email, and it's just like all like his entire inbox, okay? And I'm like looking dead ass at it and I'm like, what the fuck? It's one of those moments where you're like, do I look? But I can't help but look. But do I look? But it's just like an invasion of privacy. But like, what the fuck does he need to be private for? I was like having an internal dilemma with myself, like, do I look at this and like, do I like start scrolling, or do I just pretend like I didn't see it and close the window and move on with my life? You guys, don't even sit up here and lie like you wouldn't fucking do the same shit, okay? This is a blessing from the universe. You better take that shit. There was like this girl, this seemingly girl email address that was like showing up multiple times in his inbox, and none of them were read, and all of them had capital letters in their subject line, and most of them said, please talk to me, please stop ignoring me, where are you, I can't live without you. And so you guys, obviously, if you start seeing titles such as that one, y'all already know, okay? Y'all click on titles on YouTube that like pique your interest. It was the same shit, okay? It piqued my interest. So I start checking the email. It was like a super weird mixture of emotions. It was like this person was like very desperate, but also like trying to be sexy at the same time. It was very awkward and it was very odd. And like half of the fucking email would be, I don't understand why you're not talking to me. I feel like you're my soulmate and I can't live without you. And I can't wait to see your sexy ass. And so I went back to like the main inbox and I looked at the last time that this person had emailed Robert, and the last time had just been the day before. So like this was happening frequently and still to this day. So we need to have a little talky talk, because this can't keep happening. Like, who the fuck is this, right? So I ended up calling Robert, and like I was very calm and I was like, hey babe, and you know, like the locker's right there, so I literally just had to like lean over and I'm looking dead ass at him, okay? So I like lean over and I'm like, hey babe, hey, can you come up here real fast? I just got a little thing or two to ask you, okay, honey? Can you come up here? Like, he walked right up to me and I didn't even look at him. I kept looking at the computer and I was like, hey, I got a few questions about like what's going on right here. He didn't even have to take a full look at the computer to know what the fuck I was talking about. It's like he immediately realized his fucking mistake and leaving his window open with his email, and he already knew what the fuck I was talking about. So by this point, I felt a little bit more comfortable with being upfront about my feelings and what I was willing to tolerate and what I was not willing to tolerate. So it was a very simple question. Who the fuck is this? Because you and I have been together for almost 6 months now. So I need to know who the fuck this is right here on your computer, why you're not responding to them and letting them know that you're not about that life, and why they still getting a hold of you, and why they're so attached to you. Like, you need to tell me the story. We need to have story time, because I need to be caught up on what the fuck is happening. He literally sat down next to me on the floor, you guys. This is where the birth of the biggest secret of all, which is what I snitched when he decided to act all fucking brand new. And this is when he had to start explaining his story with Tyler's little sister, Jocelyn. If I tell you what happened, will you promise not to think of me differently? You guys, I legit couldn't even make that promise. I was like, well, it depends. I was like, is it that bad that I would think of you differently? Like, I wouldn't want to be with you no more? It shouldn't be all that. It shouldn't be all that. And then he kind of like started playing it down. It wasn't even that big of a deal. Like, it's not even worth all that. But I'm gonna tell you because I respect you and because I don't want you to be questioning it. No, it's because you got caught. He starts telling me the truth. I made a really big mistake right before I met you. Guys, I'm literally holding my breath, because when a guy tells you I made a mistake, oh bitch, like it's about to be all bad. Like what the fuck did you do? Like what did you do? He goes, you know my best friend Tyler. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, well, you know that he has, you know, siblings and a lot of them. And I was like, yeah. You remember when I told you that, you know, about that girl at the school that was crying and that was his, you know, that was his sister? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, well, before you and I started even talking, he was like, I had like a little moment with her and we ended up like fucking around for a little bit. He was like, it wasn't even that big of a deal, it wasn't serious. You guys, before he even finished like his fucking story, I literally was like backing up from him like, what the fuck are you talking about? The girl that I saw out in the hallway crying is Tyler's little sister and you fucked around with her. Like what is it that I'm hearing right now? Like what are you trying to tell me right now? Like are you literally trying to tell me that your senior ass has been fucking with the little freshman? And not just that, okay? That's one thing. You want to do that? That's fine. Your 18-year-old ass wants a 13, 14-year-old girl. That's fine. That's your business. Be careful and try not to go to jail. But it's a completely other thing that this is your best fucking friend, okay? This is not an acquaintance. This is not somebody that you met at the beginning of high school. No, this is your lifelong childhood best fucking friend, okay? So I was like having a problem processing this information. He was like literally 2 weeks. He was like, we hung out after school a few times, we chilled a few times. He was like, we went to the movies like once or twice. He was like, and that was it, because he was like, I couldn't keep going on with it for too long because I felt so guilty and I knew that I shouldn't have been talking to her like that. I was like, you and Tyler are best friends. I was like, so why would you think that it would be such a problem that you like found his sister attractive or whatever? And he was like, well, because Tyler told me. Oh, what you mean Tyler told you? He was like, I don't know if Tyler could just sense it or like if he was starting to realize it or what. He was like, but even before she and I started talking, he was like, I had asked about her and Tyler made it clear that he didn't want me dating his sister, and he got really serious and said, it's my little sister and it needs to stay that way. Like, she's off fucking limits. I'm not playing. And he was like, Tyler told me that if I ever crossed that line that he literally couldn't be friends with me. Like, his siblings mean so much to him and he just didn't want me fucking around with his sister. Okay, so let me get this straight. So your best fucking friend sits you down and says, hey, I see the little fuckery going on. I see the little signs of fuckery going on. Shut it down because I don't appreciate it. I don't want you looking at my sister. I don't want you disrespecting me like that. She is my little sister. She is off limits. Don't be fucking around with her. And if you do, I'm not going to be your friend no more. Like, our friendship is going to be non-existent. Your best friend fucking told you that shit, and you turned around and decided to do that exact same fucking thing. Especially regarding his little sister. That's a fucked up shit. That's fucked up. That's his baby sister. And he told you not to fuck with her. He told you. Like, what you mean? Judging so fucking hard because I'm a little sister. I have a big brother. My brother was always very straight up with his friends. Don't fucking look at my sister. Don't talk to her. Don't fucking tell me she's pretty or attractive. I will fucking fight you. That's my little sister. And he would tell me the same thing. My friends are off fucking limits. I don't need you dating my friends. It's too fucking messy. Fuck no. So I never crossed that line. I would never disrespect my brother like that, ever. And his friends never crossed that line with me. His friends are like my brothers, honestly. So like, what the fuck? If your best friend is telling you exactly what it is that they need from you, like, what is wrong with you? Okay, so you're a fucking asshole. I was like, that's one. I was like, now let's move on to why this girl seems to be emailing you every day, talking about how come you're not talking to me, I miss you, this other shit. What's with that? What is going on? He goes, I don't know. This is why I like stopped talking to her, because she was like freaking me out and like she was getting really attached and like she won't just let it go and she keeps emailing me. He was like, that's why none of them are read, babe, because I don't want to hear it. I was like, you're surprised that a freshman girl, fresh into high school, is heartbroken and is attached to you after you fucked around with her, made her feel special, made her feel wanted, and then you ghosted her. You're wondering why her young ass can't seem to understand the complexity of the situation and understand that you don't want to fuck with her no more. You expect her to fucking understand that, and you're wondering why her little ass is all over your computer freaking the fuck out because she's never had a dude fuck around with her like that. You're the first one because she's fucking brand new in high school. She came from an extremely religious family who was vulnerable with you and she trusted you, and that's why you shouldn't have fucked around with her. Like, you can't just be fucking with girls like that. What is wrong with you? Fine, like, let's just say the love of your life is your best fucking friend's sibling. Let's just say that, okay? But I still feel like your sibling deserves that fucking face-to-face interaction and that like face-to-face, hey, I can't help how I feel. I don't want to disrespect you, but I want to follow my heart, and I don't want to lie to you, and I don't want to deceive you or betray you, and I just want to let you know that even though I can't promise you that I can't be with your sister or your brother, just know that I love you and that I'm not trying to disrespect you. I'm just trying to follow my heart. But Robert didn't even do that. Robert didn't even do that. Robert started fucking around with Tyler's little sister and then left her heartbroken and then just fucking ghosted her ass. So it started getting into the conversation of how far did things get, what did you guys do together as far as like intimately, because that could have a big role in why she's freaking out like this. I swear, and like we were fighting because I was like, I swear on everything, Robert, if you took this girl's virginity and you fucking ghosted her like that, we are gonna have a problem. He swears up and down, up and down, up and down. It was never anything like that. We never got into anything sexual. We made out. That was as far as it went. I would never do that to her, whatever, whatever. So, we had like this huge fucking blowout about it. But to my 17-year-old self, at the end of the day, he was not emailing her back. He was not reading the emails anymore. He was not playing this fucking little game. When I saw him at the school talking to her, he didn't seem like he was emotionally connected or that he was trying to like lead her on. So I ended up trying to justify it in my head like this is between him and his fucking friend. He has to live with that guilt, and as long as this shit stops and she realizes that we're in a relationship and she needs to respect that, we're fine. Well, we were able to come up with a compromise and a solution of sorts, and my compromise was, okay, you have this fucking secret. Is it my place to tell your fucking friend? No, it's not. Unless you start acting brand new what you did, and so I ended up having to tell your fucking friend, okay? Because you were using your fucking friend to cheat on me, so fuck you. Whole secret aspect, your fucking business. You deal with that. I was like, but I don't want to continue to be disrespected because every time she emails you, I know she knows. And that's what I was telling him. I was like, I know that she knows that you and I are together. At this point, that little girl fucking knows that, and that's what's pissing me off about her, and that's what's gonna cause me to have an issue. Because all fucking around aside, that was before you even met me, but like everybody in school knows that you and I are together. I came out the bathroom that day that she was crying with you. She knows who the fuck I am, and she knows that you and I are in a relationship. So this right here is a problem. My compromise and my way of solving this is, okay, fine, I'll keep your little fucking secret. I will try my best not to judge you, and I need you to have a face-to-face conversation with her about not emailing you no more, leaving you the fuck alone, and having some respect for a relationship, because you and I are together and have been for almost 6 months now. Like, shit's getting real. I need you to put that to a halt and stop. Like, fucking fix your mess. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to see it. Fix it. We have that understanding. Now fast forward about a week, okay? Now, every day of that week, every day that I saw Robert, I was like, did you talk to her? Did you talk to her? Did you talk to her? Did you fucking talk to her? And like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday went by, and he was like, no, I just had so much going on. I've been really busy. Yeah. He and I started fighting at school, which was not like us. And like, I was getting frustrated, and I felt like you're fucking dragging your feet for what reason? I don't know. I don't have to be here. I don't have to fucking put up with this. I'm not here for it. You need to fucking fix it. So I ended up telling him, if you don't fix it by Friday, you and I are fucking done. Like, I'm not going to sit up here and have some little freshman little girl getting a hold of my boyfriend because of the shit that you started. I'm not going to do it. So you got till Friday. He ended up having a conversation with her Friday during lunch, and I knew that it was going to happen. That day he ended up making it back to the cafeteria with like 15 minutes to spare. He had spent the majority of his lunchtime in the library speaking to Jocelyn. It was a really simple conversation. She said that she completely understood, you know, she didn't mean to disrespect you, and she just wanted answers. She didn't understand why I stopped talking to her, and you know, it was just a misunderstanding, and it's all fine now. You know, I just wanted to put that to rest, you know, for you and for Tyler and everybody. He was like, I just made a huge fucking mistake and I don't know why I did it. And he just seemed really remorseful. So we moved the fuck on. Like, after that, we hardly ever spoke about it again. I didn't want to keep getting upset about it, so we didn't talk about it anymore. Now fast forward, I want to say like a month or two, there was like a good chunk of time that like nothing had happened, everything was chill, like there was no drama. I go over to Robert's house and he's acting super weird, and he asked me to come in his house and talk to him, and like we had all been outside playing basketball. Heather was there, and like we all used to chill outside and like be chilling on the curb and stuff. He just went inside his house and started going up the stairs, and so I followed him, and I was like, what the fuck? So the whole time that I'm following him, I'm like, babe, what's going on? So he gets to the loft area where his computer is. He like patted his lap, like, come sit down on my lap. Like, what? And he was like, I just want to be completely honest with you. I don't want anything to cause us to fight like we did a few months back. He was like, that was terrible. Like I said, Robert came off very sweet and nice and compassionate and thoughtful. And so he was like, you know, I don't want to cause you stress like that. He was like, and I just want our trust in each other to be solid. He was like, so the minute that I saw this, I knew that I had to tell you. And I was like, saw what? And he goes, and he just like pointed to the computer, and again it's his email, and it's up, and there are 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 more emails from her that had spanned from, she had sent one that day, she had sent one 2 days prior, and she had sent one like 5 or 6 days prior to that. So, you know, it was like within the last week she had sent 3 emails to him. So I start reading the emails, and it's the same fucking shit. But this time, if your girlfriend doesn't understand what we had, then that's her problem. Like, fucking talking shit. I can tell that you're not as happy with her as you were with me. I know that the only thing that's holding us apart is the fact that my brother is your best friend, but honestly, I just don't feel like that's enough of a reason, and like all this fucking shit. In a nutshell, what she was saying, I don't give a fuck about your girlfriend and what y'all got. What we had was more amazing, and like, fuck her. Like, that's how I took it. I read all the emails, and it was just like the same fucking shit over and over, and like my blood was boiling because she mentioned me this time. Like, she fucking knew it. Like, she knew that I existed. She knew that I had been in a relationship at this point for more than 6 months, like almost a year at this fucking point. You still don't want to let this shit go, and like, he's talked to you. I don't even know how you even have the audacity to be fucking around with this shit when you know that this is a huge ass secret that could get your ass in so much trouble. Let me tell you something. Tyler came from an extremely religious family, okay? That's number 1. Number 2, he was an immigrant, okay? So he told Robert that if his sister got caught, if any of his sisters got caught being with somebody that they weren't supposed to be with, that their father was going to send them back to their home country. And so it was like a real ass fucking deal. Like, this was not like some play shit. Obviously, the conversation that you had with her one-on-one was not enough and did not suffice for her to understand the complexity of the situation and the fact that she's being extremely disrespectful, not only to me, but towards our relationship and her brother, and none of which are important to her in any way, shape, or form. So therefore, in order for me to make myself really clear, I think I'm going to have to see her in person. Robert immediately was like, no. Like, he just immediately just shut the idea down. He was like, no, I don't want you getting into fights. Like, he knew about my past over at my shitty school, and he was like, I don't want you getting in trouble. I don't want you to have to move schools, please. Our school that we were going to at that time was a way nicer school than my shitty school, and they legitimately had a no fighting tolerance. Like, none at all. Like, the minute that you got into a fist fight, your ass was suspended immediately. Where Whereas at my shitty school, you could get like a warning or two, okay? Here we go, we're starting to fight. And I'm like, well, what do you expect me to do? You just want me to sit back and let this little fucking girl disrespect me time and time again and be sitting up here telling my boyfriend, I don't care that you're with her. Bitch, what? Oh, you gonna care? You don't want me to talk to her at school? Fine, I'll figure out another way. Fast forward, and the following Monday had come around, and of course I can't speak to Jocelyn at the school. I'm not trying to get kicked out of the school. Jocelyn obviously lived right near Robert because Jocelyn and Tyler lived together, they're siblings, and Tyler lived literally right down the street from Robert. So I got like a half day off every other day, if that makes sense. So on this Monday I was able to go home early. This time I was already best friends with Heather, and it worked out really well because she had a similar schedule. She was a senior, she had very little credits that she needed still, and so she got to have half days as well. So we go over to Heather's place, and her house was completely empty, and we were like talking or whatever. I told her, I was like, look, I need to talk to her, so I came up with a plan that I know where her bus stop is, because that's where Robert and Victor used to have their bus stop when they used to ride the bus, and it's the same one every year. So I think that I'm gonna go meet her today after school, and I'm gonna go meet her at her bus stop. That's where I know she'll for sure be. It'll be in public. I don't want to fight her. Like, I just want to fucking ask her a few questions, and to just ask her woman to woman, please fucking stop. Like, what you're doing is disrespectful, and I don't appreciate it. Like, I don't need to be called up by my man, you know, every fucking day about you emailing him this weird ass shit. Like, stop. So I waited for Robert, and like I said, Heather lived right down the street from Robert too. Like, we all lived around the same neighborhood. So Robert had texted me that day and told me when he was home, and he had like one more class than I did, so he got home later in the afternoon. So he had gotten home and he texted me, and so I went directly to his house. Now keep in mind, he doesn't know anything about my plan. He doesn't know anything. By this point, it's getting really close to 3. So I was like, okay, it's now or never. So I went downstairs to Robert's room, and I told him, get your shoes on and meet me upstairs. And he was like, why? And I was like, because we have somewhere to go. Just come on, get your shoes on, we gotta go. He puts his shoes on. I start walking upstairs. You guys, he's like literally right behind me within 5 seconds. So I walk out the house, and he has no idea what's going on. And like the whole time he's like, babe, where are we going? Where are we going? And so right before I got to the door, I like turned around and I was like, we're gonna go see your little girlfriend. And he was like, what? Jocelyn, we're going to see Jocelyn. And he was like, you guys, his fucking face went pale. And he was like, how? And I was like, oh, I'm gonna go meet her at the bus stop. And you could tell, you guys, he had not even thought about that. Like, being all loud. So Victor like pops his head from around the corner, and he was like, ooh, I want to come. And I was like, whatever. So Victor ends up putting on his shoes. When a guy, even if he ghosts you or whatever, like, it's really fucked up. It really is. But if he's moved on to another female, say fucking bye. Because when you keep on talking to him like that, you are disrespecting another girl, and we really gotta stop fucking doing that shit to each other. Like, really, like, have some fucking respect, because if he didn't want to be with her, he wouldn't be with her. Ain't nobody twisting his arm, ain't nobody holding a gun to his head, ain't nobody forcing him. If he wants to be with her, he just wants to be with her, and that's not her fucking fault. So don't disrespect her, don't be fucking rude, don't do that. Like, what you mean you don't give a fuck if he and I are together? Like, that one sentence really fucked with my shit. And I was like, that is like the most disrespectful shit I've ever heard in my life. Like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, I could see if you were like, that the reason that you're giving me for ghosting me is not valid. Like, I don't believe that shit. I'm gonna need more of an explanation. That's one thing. But for you to sit up here and say with your own fucking little fingers that you don't give a fuck that he's with me, you don't care, oh bitch, you don't care today. I go out to the street, you guys, and I go to the corner that the bus stop is at, and I literally sit there on the grass and I wait for the bus. So after what felt like forever, I finally look down the street and I see the bus turning onto the street, and I'm so nervous, but then again, I'm just like ready to get this conversation over and done with and say my piece to end all of this, because I don't want to fucking deal with it. As the bus gets closer, Robert and Victor start stepping away, and I was like, where y'all going? And Robert was like, well, I don't want her to feel like we're ganging up on her, so we're gonna go stand stand over here and you guys have your conversation. And I was like, all right, whatever. So the bus stops and all of these kids start getting off, and I'm literally like standing off to the side just watching all of them get off, and I'm looking for her, looking for her, looking for her. You guys, she's dead ass the last one off the bus. And tell me why. She hops off the bus, looks right at me, and this bitch, she fucking says, nope, and she fucking turns like she's just gonna walk home. This bitch starts walking, and speed walking, okay? So here I go, I'm like, oh, you didn't see me? Okay, now you're gonna have to make me embarrass you in front of all your friends. Fine. Jocelyn! 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 Hey girl, hey, let me talk to you real quick. Let me talk to you real quick. Come here, girl, come here. She couldn't ignore me. Everybody else couldn't ignore me. And I sure as hell wasn't about to go fucking chase after her. You saw my ass. And now I'm calling you over here so we can have a discussion, okay? So she comes over and I kind of reeled it back. And I was like, do you know who I am? And she goes, and like, this bitch tried to play dumb. And she was like, you're Robert's girlfriend, right? And I was like, yeah, that's right. Well, it's nice to officially meet you. I heard a lot about you. As you just confirmed, I'm Robert's girlfriend. I was like, I was just wondering why you felt the need to continue to email him with inappropriate shit knowing that he and I are together. Can you tell me? She looked like she was literally about to fucking faint. She was like, what? And I was like, oh, I was like, yeah, he showed me all of the emails, Jocelyn, that you've been sending for like the past few months. I was like, and it's getting to the point where it's ridiculous. I was like, and I don't appreciate it. So I want to know from you, from the source. I was like, correct me if I'm wrong. I said, did Robert have a conversation with you a few months back about he and I being together and how you got to stop this behavior and stop emailing him and stuff like that? She just got quiet, and like, I hate that. Like, why are you being quiet now? Why? When you didn't have no fucking problem coming out your face and emailing some fucking messy ass shit. Like, don't try to act quiet with me, bitch. Yes, yeah, he did. I said, okay, so why are you still emailing him, Jocelyn? What is it? I was like, you know, you have been really invested into talking to him for somebody that was like messing with him for like 2 weeks. And she was like, 2 weeks? And I was like, yeah, 2 weeks. And she goes, it wasn't 2 weeks. Nikki, he and I were talking for like over 2 months, like almost 3 months. And like, you guys, there's a huge ass difference between 2 weeks and damn near 3 months. Is that right? Oh my God, really? Okay, well, just give me 1 second, Jocelyn, honey. Hold on for a second. Robert, get your funky ass over here right now. And Robert starts walking over. Victor stays behind, but he's still like watching. And Robert starts walking over, and you can tell, you guys, that this boy looked like he was gonna faint. Like he was about to face both me and Jocelyn at the same time. And we just found a discrepancy in your story, star. So I need to know what the fuck is going on and why I'm in this fuckery of drama right now. Like, I don't understand. Jocelyn looks like she's about to shit herself. He looks like he's about to shit himself. So something's happening. Like, somebody's fucking lying, and I'm gonna find out who today. Remember how you told me that y'all had only been messing around for about 2 weeks? And he was like, yeah. She looked at him and she was like, Robert, really? 2 weeks? Are you seriously gonna lie like that? She was like, you know that it was more than 2 weeks. And he was like, no, it wasn't. To be in the middle of your current boyfriend and like his ex of sorts, and like they're looking at each other like you know the truth, and like you feel like an outsider, like what the fuck are y'all talking about? He looked me dead ass in my eyes and he said it was only 2 weeks. And he looked at her and he was like, I don't know why you keep saying that it's more than that. It was only 2 weeks. He literally just like shook her head and she was like, whatever, Robert, whatever you want to say. Like, I'm not trying to fight with you. And she was like, I know that it was more than 2 weeks. And he was like, no, it wasn't. She was like, okay, whatever. And so I could tell, like, to this day, you guys, I don't know the truth. I personally believe Jocelyn that they had been fucking around for more than 2 weeks, because that would explain her inability to let it go as quickly as you would think somebody that had been messing with another person for only 2 weeks would. But like for somebody that had been messing with you for months, like of course, like it's gonna be harder for you to get over them and to get your mind past it, you know? So he leaves. Talked to him about that. I said, I personally don't know the truth. I said, and honestly, I really don't give a shit. I said, Jocelyn, you have to stop what the fuck you're doing. I said, I don't appreciate it. And honestly, you are really risking a lot. I said, considering who your brother is, who your dad is, and everything that's at risk here, for you to be messing with Robert. I said, I don't know how else to convey this to you. It's just not a smart idea. Like, honestly, I said, it's not worth it. It's not worth it to continue to go after a dude that just keeps denying you. This entire situation made me resent Robert so much more because I felt so bad for her. Like, by the end of the conversation, I actually felt bad for her because she was just this young, vulnerable girl. She got involved with a senior that was her brother's best friend. She had known Robert for years since she was a little girl. So of course, like, he wasn't just anybody to her. Like, she had seen him all her life, and he made her feel like there was a possibility that there could be a future there. And then he just fucking ghosted her ass, and then fucking fast forward a few weeks and he's with me, and like, we've been together for months and months and months. Jocelyn and Robert facing off for the first time about their forbidden relationship. After that, I never heard about her again. I don't know if she ever got a hold of Robert again. Even if she did, I don't know if he ever told me, because, you know, after that he knew that I was about that life, and that if I told him that I was going to take care of it, I was gonna take care of it. And that is the story about the time that I had to skirt on a girl and pull up on her at her bus stop to confront her about talking to my mans. I know, it was ratchet and crazy and stupid, I know. But if this has ever happened to you, or if you had another girl ever do this to you, where like you're with a man and like she still is trying to get a hold of him and disrespect your relationship and like keeps on and keeps on, let me know your story down below. I know I can't be the only one, and I just can't stand that. I don't think that it's right to do that, even if you don't understand it, even if you feel like their relationship isn't real, what the fuck ever. Like, he decided to be in that relationship, and you shouldn't treat her that way and disrespect her because of his fucking decision. Like, it didn't have anything to do with her, and we really have to stop doing that to each other. So that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give me a huge thumbs up to let me know. It helps me out a lot. Also, don't forget, if you would like to join my Glamazon family, I would love to have you. You guys know I could not do this without you, and I would not be here without you. So hit that big subscribe button to be notified of each time I upload a video here on my channel. Thank you guys so much for coming to join me for another long-awaited story time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I love you guys, and I will see you guys super soon in my next video. Peace.